past version of me might have gone, well, 40 minutes isn't long enough to do the route that I was going to walk, or how could I even work up a sweat in that time? But a new version, not letting perfect be the enemy of good, perfect would have been an hour, 40 minutes is still really good. Hi there, and a warm welcome to the Habit Nerd podcast. I'm Dr. Bree Hearn, host and general nerd about all things habits. Over my 20 plus years working as a writer, educator, researcher, keynote speaker, and coach, I've realized that habits influence everything from our health to our productivity and even our relationships. It was Aristotle, in fact, who said we become what we repeatedly do. On this podcast, you'll learn from inspiring experts as they share the habits and systems that help them live happily, healthily, and to achieve enormous success in their chosen fields. Thanks for being here. I do hope that you enjoy the episode. Hi there, Habit Nerds. Thank you for your company today on the podcast. It's going to be a short episode. I'm just going to be talking about one very brief topic today, and that is a mindset shift that has changed the way that I live and I work. Now, I believe that our habits can be highly influenced by the mindset, so the way that we view things. And this particular one, I could have chosen many, but this particular one is having an impact on how I show up at work, show up in my relationships, show up in my friendships, and how I look after myself in my health as well. This is the mindset. It is, do not let perfect be the enemy of good. I'll say that again. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Said another way, don't let perfect get in the way of good. Now, I am a recovering all or nothing person. People who know me would probably attest, and I'm not proud to say this, that I do have some perfectionist tendencies, and even more embarrassingly, I can be seen as a little bit pessimistic. So therefore, I have a tendency to look at the negative of things, and it's something I'm constantly working on. So because of this, I have a tendency, if something doesn't go perfectly to plan, I will say, well, what's the point of the whole thing? And this is problematic. And it is unhelpful in multiple areas of my life. So this mindset shift that I'm trying hard to work on, and I have had different levels of success in different areas of my life, which I will share with you in this episode, it really is helping. So one way I would let perfect be the enemy of good is at work. So the scenario would look something like this. I'm at work, I'm at my desk. I have been very intentional about time blocking 2 hours to work on a task. I've got everything I need. I've broken it down. It's color-coded in my calendar, and I'm really looking forward to doing this task. Someone, 5 minutes in, comes up to me and interrupts me. Now, it could be a colleague who wants to talk about a work-related issue. It could be a colleague who wants to talk about a non-work related issue. Either way, whether it's a work chat or a social chat, I will, because I'm a nice person and I like my colleagues, turn around and engage in that. Now, that could balloon out into something that takes up to an hour, for example. It could be a work chat that gets more in depth, or it could extend out to a task that we need to work on together. Or the social chat about what we did on the weekend could extend into other things around our social lives or the way we relate to each other. Both of those scenarios could take up to an hour, for example. Now, I had a tendency in the past to get really annoyed by that, because I would look at the clock after that sort of occurrence, and I would say things to myself like, well, what's the point now? I had 2 hours blocked and now I've only got an hour left. That's not enough time to do this task. That's not enough time to do anything. But that, my friends, is a big fat lie, I tell myself. 1 hour is enough to do something. It's more than enough to make a dent in that task that I had planned to do, or it's more than enough to quickly swap out that task to something else on my to-do list. 2 hours may have been the ideal, may have been the perfect, but 1 hour can still be really good. Another way I am not letting perfect be the enemy of good is in my friend relationships, so my friendships. I'll give you an example. The group of girls who I love dearly that I went to secondary school with, there are 7 of us. Now you can imagine 7 people, 7 busy women in the world, all of us happen to also be mothers. It's really hard to get together for a social gathering, for a dinner or a lunch, for example. Now, it used to be that we would put out the message or put out the poll and say, who's free on this date? And if we couldn't get all 7 of us together, we would just cancel the whole thing, or we'd say, oh, it's too hard, don't worry about it. And that went on for a long time until we decided to not let perfect be the enemy of good. Because 7 is perfect. That means we've got all of our girlfriends together. But 5 is still pretty good. If I'm at a dinner with 4 other people, that's better than a dinner with no other people. So that's an area where 7 would be perfect, but 5 or 6 is still really good. I have a tendency to time block at home with things like grocery shopping and then subsequent meal preparation when I get home from doing the grocery shop, for example. So say it's a Saturday and I have gone to the grocery shop and then I have come home and I have got maybe 3 meals or 2 dinners and maybe a snack, a banana bread or some muffins or something planned to make. But when I get to the shopping center, the crowds are really big. The car park is full and I struggle to find a car park. I bump into somebody I know and engage in a really, big and lovely catch up in the supermarket aisle. Or the shopping center doesn't have what I need. The supermarket is out of some of the key ingredients. I would then get home and see that I have blocked out that time and that time is diminished, or some of the ingredients I don't have. I would have the tendency, because I'm a pessimist or I was a pessimist, to say, oh, what's the point? But do you know what the point is? I might not be able to make 3 things, but I can make 1 thing. I might not be able to make anything, but I can put all of the groceries away. See, done is better than perfect. Something is better than nothing. I use this principle when I am thinking that I've got some time to work with my kids on their homework or to read with them. I have set aside 30 minutes and for whatever reason, 10 of those minutes gets eclipsed. Maybe I get stuck on the phone. Maybe they're outside playing and I can't get them in. Whatever it is, I used to say, oh, what's 20 minutes? We needed 30 minutes. No, 20 minutes is still good. 30 minutes would have been perfect, but 20 minutes is still good. The same can be said for you may have wanted to do it as soon as they arrived home from school after they've had a snack, and it doesn't happen until 5:30 when it's almost dinner time. That is still enough time to do some, if not all. And doing some is better than nothing. And therefore that will take a little bit of pressure off. It will alleviate some of the future work that you need to find time for. Perfect being the enemy of good is relevant to myself with some of my health habits. Now, one could be exercise. I might look at my calendar and think that I have got a 1-hour block in the middle of the day to do a walk. Then life happens and I get stuck in a meeting longer than I wanted to, or a task bleeds out and I don't have any impact over it finishing 20 minutes after the time that I would have liked it to finish. A past version of me might have gone, well, 40 minutes isn't long enough to do the route that I was going to walk, or how could I even work up a sweat in that time? But a new version, not letting perfect be the enemy of good, perfect would have been an hour, 40 minutes is still really good. I can just shorten my route, or I can do the same route, but I can walk much faster. Either way, when I come home from that walk, I feel much better than if I had given into that perfectionist and pessimistic tendency to say, well, what's the point? I'll just stay here and keep working. Because that's not good for my self-esteem and my self-efficacy either. I know I will feel far better having done something and not letting perfect be that enemy of good. This is true also when I want to go to the gym and I think that it will take 45 minutes. That's the gym class is 45 minutes and I'm running late and I'm stuck in traffic or something has happened because life happens. We're busy people in the world. It could be that being 10 minutes late to the class is enough to just drive straight past and go home. I will be grumpy. My family will pay for me being grumpy and my health suffers. So I would much rather 35 minutes than 45 minutes than zero. So yes, 45 minutes would be perfect, but 35 minutes is still very good. Someone like me who creates content for this podcast and for my business needs to be online doing things like making Instagram reels, talking to the camera, making videos, and making podcast episodes, obviously. Now, this is really vulnerable work, as you might be able to imagine, and I can always find things when I've done a video that would make me want to delete it straight away. I may have stumbled over a word, I pronounced a word wrong, my voice doesn't sound the way I want it to, I'm not happy with the way I look, my hair's a bit strange, I'm not happy with my outfit, commonly I have bags under my eyes. All of those things would be a reason for me to delete the video before posting it to Instagram because I want it to be perfect. But could it be that there is something that I say on that video that helps someone or that moves the needle forward in my business? So therefore, the video can still be good even though it's far from perfect because I know that the consistent version of me will always outperform the motivated or the more perfect version of me. If I show up consistently, and that will show that I have a sense of authenticity and vulnerability, and maybe I'm more relatable to the people watching the video, that is far superior than doing nothing at all. So therefore, that is a way that I do not let perfect be the enemy of good. So, habit nerds, I wonder if you can think about where you are playing small and trying to be perfect or trying to expect perfection when you could aim for good, and good could be really great. I'm not going to lie, this is a work in progress for me, and it does really rely on some flexibility, on a mindset that is more flexible and a little bit more open-minded and ready to make small shifts where required. But I wonder whether it's helpful for you to think about throughout your week, even if you break it down into different aspects. So like I did, work, your family relationships, your friendships, your health, your work, your home life, your domestic responsibilities. Where are you letting perfect be the enemy of good? I would love to hear if that mindset helps you or if you can see any examples in your own life. Send me a DM over at The Habit Nerd on Instagram. And a big thanks for sharing your company with me today for this very brief episode. I can't wait to chat to you again next Monday. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Habit Nerd. I hope you found some new inspiration, learned something new, or gained a fresh perspective. If you did enjoy the episode, I would be really grateful if you could please leave a 5-star review, as it helps the show get in the ears of new listeners, plus it should only take you 5 seconds. If you're keen for more tips and insights, then head over to Instagram and follow Habit Nerd.